Bankai!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic weapons employed by the cast of Bleach over the course of the anime. No manga spoilers here, so have no fear. Number 20, whatever the hell this is. Hey, don't blame us. Ginjo's the one who didn't give it a name.
Bankai.
After revealing himself as the arc's resident villain, the leader of the Fullbringers snatched away Ichigo's power for himself and his team. This apparently included access to Bankai. Taking on a Halloween-esque guise, it certainly boosted the overall strength of Ginjo's sword swings, but beyond that, essentially made him fodder for Ichigo's return to being a Shinigami. Much like its owner, it was gone in the blink of an eye. Number 19, Koko Gonryo Rikyu. The lieutenant of the 1st Division was among the least developed characters in Bleach's long history, but at the very least, he was given a posthumous upgrade courtesy of a Bankai.
Bankai! Koko Gonryo Rikyu!
Though never used throughout the series, we see that Sasakibe's command over lightning was strong enough to even scar the likes of Yamamoto, making it a prized tool to be taken when the Quincy army invaded the Soul Society. Considering the kind of damage it can do, we have to wonder why he didn't bust this out against Aizen. Number 18, Kinara Bodan. Just as operatic as its user, Rose's love of all things musical was taken to the next level with this reveal. A performance of pure pain, he summons a series of sentient golden mannequins, which in turn unleash various elemental techniques that could bring even the hardiest Sternritter to their knees. Unfortunately, Rose was cut off before he could unveil his grand finale, which was a real shame because this thing was shaping up to be an instant killer. Number 17, Teken Tachi Kaz.
Bankai.
Simple, yet effective, much like Kensei himself. This Bankai is all about punching power and little else. Combining Kensei's immense physique with his Zanpakuto's affinity for wind techniques, this pair of gauntlets allow him to unleash devastating punches that can send foes flying.
Bankai. Teken Tachi Kaz.
No fancy gimmicks or long-ranged attacks here. If you want to scrap, then this pair of knuckle blades is the ideal. Especially when wielded by someone of Kensei's stature. Would not want to be on the receiving end of one of those. Number 16, Minazuki. The reveal of Unohana as the first Kenpachi was a twist none of us had on our bingo cards, but the results speak for themselves.
Bankai. Minazuki.
Despite priding herself as a healer, her Bankai is all about dealing death. In an effort to restore Kenpachi Zaraki to his full strength, Unohana goes all out, revealing her sword's true bloody form. Able to unleash sanguine slashes and constructs, her already immense swordsmanship is fortified beyond measure. There was a reason why she was the strongest in her heyday. Number 15, Sakashima Yokoshima Happo Fusugari. Fans were given a real treat when they got to see Shinji's Bankai for the first time ever, considering it wasn't articulated even in the manga.
Bankai Sakashima Yokoshima Happo Fusagari.
Taking his already broken ability to switch up a person's senses a step further, the former Vizard now has the power to completely switch a person's recognition of friend and foe, allowing him to sit pretty while his enemies slaughter themselves. It's the ultimate gotcha weapon, just a shame he likely won't have the chance to bust it out again. Number 14. Shitatsu Karakara Shigarami no Sushi. Squad Zero are no joke.
Bankai.
To the extent that in order for one of them to unlock their Bankai, the other members have to willingly take themselves out. That's the gravity of their true power. In the case of Senjumaru, she takes Yhwach's personal god on a magic carpet ride to hell. Trapping her victims inside of various tapestries, Senjumaru can subject them to all manner of executions, from evisceration to being reduced to nothing more than dust. Her needlework is just too OP.
悪玉どもよ、とく見やれ。戦書万端整えて、放つこの旗。
Number 13. Shirafude Ichimonji.
この世界のあらゆる黒はわしのものじゃ。
Fitting that the leader of Squad Zero might be in possession of the strongest Bankai in history, to the extent that it existed long before Bankai were even a thing.
最新式の言い方で言うなら挽回ということになるんかの。
Fitting with his motif of combining brushwork with swordplay, when unleashed, this form allows Ichibe to change a being's entire existence by simply rewriting it. So, if he wanted to take a godly figure like Yhwach and reduce his strength to that of an ant, all it takes is a simple scribble and it comes to pass.
虫けらどもの王よ。さらば。
Number 12. Suzumushi Tsuishiki, Enma Korogi. Remember when this thing was actually being used?
挽回。
Jeez, Tosen was on the villain bandwagon for so long, we actually forgot he was in possession of a Bankai, and an oddly fitting one at that. First shown to us against Kenpachi, the sword creates a self-contained dimension of darkness that numbs the senses of all those caught within, leaving Tosen free to hunt them down like rabbits at his leisure.
無駄だ。私を捕らえることなどできない。
It's a shame that we couldn't see him dish this out during his antagonist phase, but we're guessing the memory of Kenpachi breaking it still haunts him. Number 11. Konjiki Ashisoki Jizo. Leave it to the crazy scientist of Soul Society to take your worst nightmares, blend them together, and summon it as his ultimate weapon. Nothing says, you are going to die screaming, quite like the sight of a giant insect with a distorted infant's face that breathes out waves of poison. Whether you're crushed under its many ligaments, wholly devoured, or infected with its numerous toxins, this Bankai, above all else, stands as a true symbol of madness and horror. Then again, that's pretty much Mayuri's calling card.
見えてるか、あばらい。これっぽっちも見たかねえが。
Number 10. Kokuo Tangenmu. Now this is how you make an impact.
九条天元妙。
If you thought that Komamura's reveal as a talking, bulky wolf was a shocker, then just wait until he summons this colossal set of pitch black armor.
虫けらのような男だ。
Copying every move the furry captain makes, it does come with the unfortunate side effect of reflecting all the damage it takes onto its master. But the payoff is worth it when you see just how strong this Iron Giant really is. After getting that blade brought down on your cranium, it's doubtful you're going to be getting back up again. Number 9. Kamishini No Yari. While it's essentially just an upgraded form of Ichimaru's Shikai, the results are still devastating, to the point that it nearly managed to get one over on both Ichigo and Aizen.
Kamishini no Yari.
Not only can the blade stretch itself up to 13 kilometers, but it can extend and retract at 500 times the speed of sound, allowing him to slice apart anyone or anything faster than they can think. Or just cut an entire town in half when he feels like showing off. Then there's his ace in the hole, wherein he can leave a slither of the blade inside someone, creating a deadly poison capable of reducing even a self-proclaimed god to mulch.
Korose. Kamishini no Yari.
Number 8. Jakuho Rikoben. Soifan may not be a fan of this Bankai on account it's pretty much the antithesis of stealth, but you can't argue with its raw power. Turning a weapon of silent assassination into a magical rocket launcher, the force is great enough to devastate even the strongest of hollows, as well as incinerate everything around them. If the first shot doesn't leave you in pieces, then all she has to do is reload and try again until her target falls victim to the nuclear stinger at her disposal. Number 7. Ryomon Hozukimaru. Out of all the non-captains we thought would end up getting their hands on a Bankai, Ikkaku was pretty low on the list, but nonetheless ended up becoming a pleasant surprise when he pulled it out of the bag against the Arrancar invaders. Going from a simple spear to that of 3 large vicious blades, one of which just happens to be a guillotine that can store and unleash an explosion of potent reishi, the bold ball of luck would have a much easier time of it if he had used this form more often. Alas, his determination to remain in Squad 11 outshines his eagerness to bring out the big guns in a fight. Number 6. Hakka no Togame. About time Rukia got her time to shine. After being on the sidelines for way too long, Rukia reveals just how far she has come as a Shinigami, namely in the form of a Bankai that nearly pushed Hitsugaya off his pedestal as King of Cold.
Bankai. Hakka no Togame.
Assuming an elegant guise of a frost-laced maiden, Rukia is now able to expand the reach of her blade's icy influence, reducing all around her to absolute zero, including overzealous Quincy who believe themselves far superior. Number 5. Zanka no Tachi.
お主の血肉も剣も魂も髄から粉々に打ち砕くためよ。
We had been waiting to see what the Captain Commander could possibly have in his arsenal, given that his Shikai was already beyond the pale in terms of destructiveness. And that's when he busted out his Bankai.
ただ焼かれるのを待つ袋の群れに過ぎぬということ。
The immensity of his flames is channeled into 4 different states, being that of his sword coating his body like armor, summoning charred corpses of fallen foes, and a final slash that could split apart Soul Society if he wanted to. It's a demonstration of unrivaled power that Yhwach could never have overcome if not for some sleight of hand.
残火の立ち北天地怪人
Number 4. Heio Zabimaru.
Heio Zabimaru.
Running parallel to Ichigo's journey, the hot-headed bad boy of the Gotei 13's Bankai is no slouch when it comes to its release form, going from an extendable blade all the way to a giant constructed serpent that can separate into several large fragments and reform at will. Not only does it afford Renji plenty of range on the battlefield, but also comes with some serious firepower in the form of a giant laser that can roast any unprepared foes. Its lethal potential skyrocketed after some fine-tuning from Squad Zero, turning it into a death trap that few can hope to stand against. Number 3. Daiguren Hyorinmaru. Possibly the most frequently used Bankai across the entire series, and wouldn't you know it, it belongs to everyone's fan-favorite white-haired child prodigy.
Bankai. Daiguren Hyorinmaru.
Hitsugaya's mastery over his Zanpakuto not only allowed him to unlock his final form in record time, but it's one of the coolest as far as designs go. With icy wings and claws now attached to his body, not only does he look the part of a dragon hybrid, but can also conjure up a whole variety of sub-zero techniques that can put anyone on ice. Number 2. Senbonzakura Kageyoshi. A barrage of a billion petals that are each as sharp as steel, Byakyo's Bankai is a beautiful death sentence if ever there was one.
Senkei Senbonzakura Kageyoshi.
While trying to outrun or overcome the sea of razor petals is nigh impossible, especially if the Elder Kuchiki increases their speed, that's not the only form his Bankai can take, transitioning into a fleet of swords that he can summon whenever he desires. But wait, there's more! Should all else fail, he can summon one last blinding sword, providing an angelic guise meant to smite any foe that has managed to survive so far.
Goukei Senbonzakura Kageyoshi.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Tensor Zangetsu. What else was it gonna be?
Tensor Zangetsu.
Nanda sore wa.
While originally a hulking black blade that could still do some serious damage, Ichigo's intensive training and burning desire to save Rukia managed to unlock its ascended form. While appearing as a simple katana, what this Bankai loses in size, it makes up for in spades with its speed, granting the strawberry increased agility and movement to the point where he can even shred any enemy as though they were paper.
力の全てを踏み交わそうではないか。いいりゃ
And that's to say nothing of the major upgrade it provided to the Getsuga Tensho,
決が天才
Which Bankai do you wish you had in your possession? Let us know in those comments below.
素晴らしい挽回だった。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.